how good this audio is gonna be. I don't even care. I mean, I'm willing to redo it if I have to. We're gonna have some fun here. I got a long drive ahead of me. We're gonna talk about Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. So, Sonic 1, Adventure 1. I really fucking like this game. This was some good shit. I played a lot of Sonic games, and this is the first 3D Sonic I've ever beaten. I beat all the 2D ones, and I overall prefer the 2D games. I feel like they're just more polished. They know what they're doing, except for Superstars. Superstars was unfortunately not a good return to form, but everything else was pretty solid. Sonic 3D in general, like 3D games, are a mixed bag, and I've played some stinkers. Tried to get as far as I could into them. Don't mind my breaks. Sonic Adventure. This game was amazing. I love the controls. I love the movement. I didn't know how fun it could be. Like, just it was like looser controls, but it was so bouncy. And like, I loved going into a spin dash and like the momentum built up. I mean, apparently, at least what I remember from what I heard, the later games get a lot more tighter, like in terms of controls, and the courses are more linear. And I'll get into Sonic Adventure 2 soon, but that definitely supports it because like these ones were a lot more open area to a certain extent. I feel like it had a well balance, at least like especially for the Sonic levels. The Sonic levels were great. I think there was probably one or two stinkers in there, and Wind Valley. Overall, I thought Wind Valley was pretty good, but I have seen what it could have been, and I think honestly Wind Valley kind of shaped how they made courses in general going forward, and what I not so like about the 3D games. But for right now, for not counting 3D Blast, for their first official Sonic game, this one's pretty good. It's not perfect because, Jesus Christ, it's not good because I'm fucking Big the Cat, it's not good. It's not even a good fishing simulator. And then their whole excuse was they were trying to show the power of the Dreamcast with the water of the controls or whatever, but like, it's just kind of mashing the A button to like, don't over mash it, but don't under mash it. And I mean, I suck at video games, so Loki, these stages kind of took me a bit, but like, you have like maybe 2 brain cells, you should be able to do them in 20 minutes. I only had 1 at the time, so couldn't fully get there. But overall, like, I feel like a lot of people just rag on anything but Sonic in this game. Like like they just say the rest of it's practical shit. But besides Big, everything else isn't that bad. Amy's isn't good. I did like her boss fight. That was pretty satisfying. These are good characters. They just weren't implemented correctly. So for Amy overall, just it wasn't fun. But I think what I did like about Amy's story at least was that it also tied in with Gamma's, which Gamma's, albeit short, I like Gamma's gameplay. Like the mechs, even though it was kind of like turn off your brain a little bit, it was still fast paced, which is what I'm here for a Sonic game. So it was still fun to do. No, I love Gamma, and especially the story at the end was just really great. Tails was okay. It was definitely short. It was just Sonic levels, but really extremely short. But his movement was good. They ruined it in Adventure 2, but I'll get to that later. And then Knuckles. I think out of all of them, like Sonic was the best. I really liked Gamma. Knuckles was very unique. This whole thing was just reusing the Sonic levels in different ways. So that's kind of what I think hindered a lot of the other stages, because they weren't even meant for what they were doing. And I think Knuckles showed that the most. I like the radar, the fact that you could do all 3. Like, we'll get into that later. Adventure 2 kind of locked that up a bit, but these levels were mid at best. Like, they weren't the best, but I did like the gameplay. So it was a mixed bag overall. I mean, I think also the biggest problem is I do like the adventure story, like for the first game, but the way it was told and the amount of cutscenes they repeated for each fucking story, just made it kind of confusing, and I don't even think I still don't fully understand it, to be honest with you. But what I think I understand, they got a banger. Chaos was a really cool character that I don't feel like gets talked about as much. I think this game just doesn't get talked about. I feel like it's very overshadowed by Shadow and Sonic Adventure 2. So, I mean, overall, honestly, right now, this is my favorite Sonic game. Once we'll talk about Adventure 2, I'll honestly decide which one I like more. This one was just so imaginative. Like, the levels, like, I think my favorite one had to be, whatever it was called. It was the amusement park one. So it literally starts off with your, like, go-karting event, you're, like, kind of racing, and then it just goes into an amusement park. And it's just like, why the fuck is this here? Who cares? It's fun. That's all you really need for like a video game. That type of energy, and Sonic had it perfectly right there. Like the ice cap zone was awesome. SonicTeam really loves snowboarding levels. I don't know if anyone's noticed that. They've been doing it since like that one 2D game zone in the Sonic 3, but like here in like the both adventure games, they had like quite a few levels where it was like snowboarding in a way, like either in a city or even in sand. They really like it, and it fits the aesthetic. It's a really cool idea. Red Mountain was great. I don't remember how I felt about the final stage, to be honest. I don't even remember the final stage that much. So I guess it wasn't that memorable in hindsight. But no, overall I loved Sonic 1. I think that was really great. Even charming. I played, since I was playing on the Steam Deck, I played the DX version. Apparently the original is actually really good in terms of like, like visual looks. And I think even less bugs, weirdly enough. Like, I don't really know how they kind of fucked up the director's cut a little bit, but so at some point I would love to like replay this on an actual Dreamcast. No, I really like this game. This was fun. Controls were great. There's some room for improvement, but like I just loved how laid back it was. It was a really fun adventure, all things considered. So yeah. Okay, now for Sonic Adventure 2, I didn't even write notes for this one, to be honest with you. Well, I played this one obviously more recent compared to Adventure 2, or Adventure 1, so I do have it a lot more fresher in my mind, and this one's really fucking good too. It's pretty good. Like I would say still Adventure 1's underrated, but I don't think this one's overrated at all. There's a lot of changes they made. Some good, some I think are okay in this game, but definitely led to worse decisions, I think, in newer games to my knowledge. I mean, to be fair, I haven't played any of the, like, the ones afterwards, just from what I heard. But I really would like to gather my own opinion. Now, for Sonic Adventure 2, they changed the story drastically to where now there's only two versions, well, technically three, because there's always the last version, but we have Hero and Dark, and it's very, like, contrasting. Like, they, both their sides are, like, very duality-minded, and I really like that. It's good. For the Hero story, Sonic's levels are amazing. It literally starts off with, like, a really solid level with City Escape. That's what I'm talking about with the snowboards, too. Like, the fact that he just jumps out of a helicopter, grabs part of the helicopter, and then snowboards on it in the middle of a fucking city that's just fucking Sonic. That's awesome. Solid stage. And then it kind of gets bad. 2/3 of this game, I don't really know why people don't talk about this enough, in my opinion, but 2/3 of this game kind of suck, because 2/3 of this game is the mech stages, and they are not fun. Either not the Tails version, nor the Eggman version. It's cool that you can play as Eggman, and I'm fine with him being in the mech, because that would make sense for him. Why is Tails in the mech? He controlled just fine, and could have been really fun, like, from the first game. I even liked his ending. I thought that was really charming. Why did they change this? Why did they put him in a mech? It's just not fun. To say 2/3 of a game sucks. I mean, yeah, but not 2/3. No, sorry, 1/3. Damn, I said 2/3 a lot. Damn, I'm just slandering this game at that point. The Knuckles and Rouge stages were really good. They really improved upon them significantly. Like, the one problem, I feel like a lot of people have, and I actually didn't. I didn't mind this at all. To where you can only find one at a time. Was just because I was just I didn't care. I liked exploring the places. For the most part, I think Rouge's there was one in space. I think kind of sucked, but the rest of them I had no problem. They were a lot of fun. I don't know how quick I was, because I took like 20 minutes on each stage. I'm not like a pro gamer. I'm not even a good gamer. So you know, I'll take my time with my Sonic game. Thank you. But what sucks about this game compared to the first one is this one really cares about your how well you do at the end of the stage. So like you can either get an S, A through I think E. I proudly have gotten an E on every single stage. Maybe D on some easy ones. Like if it was a reasonably easy one, then I probably did get a D. But for the most part, I got an E, and I was okay with that. And every time they're like, "Man, I need to do better," I was like, "Fuck you. You do better. I don't need to do shit." Knuckles, I don't really know how they it was kind of like stretching it a bit to have him even involved with this certain gameplay and just him in general. Because this is when they were still, you know, he was like, he guards the chaos, like the Master Emerald, which now that I think about it, I think they just gave up on at some point because he just doesn't do that anymore. But I really like them overall. The stages were like now designed specifically for Knuckles and Rouge, and yeah, they were amazing. I think I haven't personally played it, but I think I did hear that if they did, I think there's a mod where you can remove like the limiter, so you can just find them all at once, and apparently it just makes the game significantly easier and quicker. So I don't know if that's really to justify, you know, filler per se, but overall though, they were good. Just let me get over here. Perfect. Rouge, you know what? I don't know why I just talked like this as if this wasn't a new character, because this was, I think, her first game. She's really cool. I think she's a perfect. She plays off Knuckles and Shadow pretty well, like in different ways. So overall, great addition. Pretty sure we see more of her, so I'm always excited for that. And of course, the newest character, Shadow. I don't even think I have to say much about Shadow, because I mean, he is probably the second most iconic character, maybe in the first. I mean, well, now if you hear Sonic the Hedgehog, you're gonna think Sonic, but yeah, Shadow's definitely the second. I mean, especially after like the third movie and like all the like the game that was released last year, like the new Generations one. Yeah, I mean, this is his origin. It's good. I've seen it to death because I always watch the shows and stuff. Like I saw Sonic X as a kid. He wasn't new to me, but very cool. Loved him. His gameplay, like it was pretty. It was a little different. I haven't talked about the movement for any of the games or any of the characters in general, besides I think the mechs. But he was good. He was a little bit more floaty compared to Sonic because I think he was like gliding and stuff. So I actually wasn't a huge fan of that, but it's only a slight. And maybe I'm even bugged. Maybe it isn't even a difference. I don't know. But overall, those were definitely the highlights with Sonic and Shadow's level. Sonic's movement, I think, changed for the worse compared to the first game. It's not bad. It's still good by all means, especially for this game. You still have like a more bouncy movement, but you could tell in this game it's started to focus a little less on momentum. Not too much, to compare to like maybe other games, but like in the first game, I could just press, I think, the X button or whatever button it was for the spin dash while I'm moving. It would instantly go into it, and then that would help me build more momentum to like do a jump or something like that. This one, you kind of have to hold the button for a little bit, and it doesn't feel right. And I guess you can kind of then do the same thing from it, like it'll then build up the momentum like that. You just have to hold the button down now. They fixed the light dash though, which is really great. Because before, it's not the complete opposite. before you had to hold it down, which sucked. But now you just have to press it once you're at the ring. Well, it's give or take. I mean, it's also mapped with another button, so they use the same thing. So hopefully, you know, you hit the rings correctly. If you're like over a pit, it took me a while for it to actually start fucking working. I don't know. It just kind of had to like get into a certain rhythm of it. But overall, it's still good. The courses are a lot more linear, which, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of, but this game implemented it quite perfectly. Like, if they're gonna go that route, it's just a different style of gameplay, and if they do it this way, that's great. I know they don't, but I wish they did. And yeah, the mechs suck. They're too slow. I was really excited at first when they got into the mechs, even as sales, I was like, oh, cool, they're bringing back Gamma style gameplay. I really love Gamma. No, they didn't. They probably they brought back like the lamest parts of the S, where it's just kind of like an automatic shooter, and I guess some slight platforming. Yeah, story at least, because it now was with just two sides of it, was a lot more easier to understand, and probably because of that, this story was not only just as solid as the first, probably slightly better. It was a lot more held together easily. So, I mean, yeah, I love the story. It was great. Shadow was great. I love the ending, where even like, since they all came together, the last fucking level, like, literally called Last Story, sucked. I did not like having to play all of them all, like, back to back all at once. If you lose your lives, which I did, you have to start back at Tails. It literally starts off with, I guess, you get the worst out of the way, but it literally starts off with Tails and then, Robotnik. Man, those are fucking ass. That is just a pile of dog shit. Knuckles was pretty fun. I didn't have the aquatic ring or whatever the fuck it's called. I didn't even know that existed. So I was just going down there and praying I wouldn't drown. Same with Ruger, of course. I think they both have water parts. But you know, I actually surprisingly did those parts on the first one. So, and then it was just Sonic. I don't think Shadow. Yeah, I don't think Shadow really did anything until I guess the boss fight. Oh no, because then he came in for what was it? Just the Bio Lizard or Biohazard. That was it. That was an alright boss fight. I like that. It took me a while to realize those red spheres that he was emanating. You could like go on them to try to hit him. I was just standing there like a dumbass, just trying to avoid them. I'm like, all right, so when am I gonna get an opening here? Yeah, not the best of video games. So, and then the Final Hazard was even easier than I didn't even talk about the final boss fight on Adventure 1. I'll just talk about both boss fights here. Adventure 1 was really good. Not that hard, but it was kind of annoying when you did just get constantly bombarded by that one hit, and that basically soft blocked you. Like, you lost any momentum by the time you were like moving, and you were not going to be able to get a hit off. There was just no way to recover from that. But once you did beat it, it was fun. I like Chaos. I like being Chaos. Uh, I think my favorite one, just because of how funny and stupid it is, was actually Beat the Cat's final boss with Chaos, I think 6. And where Froggy's just slightly there, but if you're just right next to the monster and you get the lore end, you'll instantly grab Froggy, and that's it. That's the whole boss fight. That is so stupid, yet actually really charming. But for Adventure 2, it was now the final hazard, which was like the biohazard, but I now part of the colony arc, I guess. Now, saying it out loud, it sounds kind of stupid actually, but it was cool. Pretty simple actually. I did that one on my first try. You know what? One thing they took away, now we're talking about Adventure 2, I also want to compare them slightly. They took out I feel like they almost took out the adventure aspect. The cutscenes definitely made it feel like an adventure, and it was a really good adventure. But like with Sonic 1, you were kind of moving around in the adventure at least, because like they had Station Square, which was really cool. They had a Mystic Ruins, which was okay, but that's kind of, those are the only points. You kind of go from there, and then Mystic Ruins significantly expands. At least, you know, going through the cave or whatever. And it's cool you can go to Eggman's carrier. Like, it's cool, like, the little things. Then you also saw, I think, Mecha Sonic and Metal Sonic in those cages where Gamma was born. You see, in Station Square, after you complete Tails' story, which this is the part that's confusing. Like, did all of this happen? Like, how the fuck did Eggman, like, Sonic was chasing Eggman. Eggman somehow gets to Station Square, and Sonic's not there. So then Tails' story commences. He saves them from a fucking missile. Like, I don't feel like anyone talks about Eggman was ready just to blow it all up. He was like, alright, the comedic, gooey character couldn't do it. I'm just gonna blow up the boat. That's crazy, but then, you know, obviously Tails stops it, and I guess at some point Sonic finds him in, I think he was at his base or something. I don't actually remember, but that was to like add on to the confusing story bit. I don't fucking, what do you want me to say? One cool little bit I noticed was with the Chaos Emerald. I think because Tails had the yellow one, so we had the real one and the fake one, of course. It was cool that it was mentioned in the Dark story of how he got that. It was stayed in Station Square from that missile originally. So that's really cool that they brought that back, but that's what just confusing me of, like, I guess all of that happened. I feel like Tails would have been the most confusing thing to say. That also happened. That felt like an alternative option, but either way, love Sonic. But I think now that I've played the two of them, in terms of replayability, the Sonic Adventure 2 like Sonic levels are and Shadow are really fun to replay. You'll never catch people replaying the Mecha stages, and probably not even the Knuckles stages. They were like a fun one and done. I still think I like Sonic Adventure 1 more though. I like the charmingness of it. I like the vibe of it. I don't know. It just felt more like an adventure to me. Not really saying they should have kept it that way. There was definitely some changes they made for the better, but there are some things I think they left behind that they should have kept with them. So even though that's a shame, I don't think they've had an acclaimed game such as the Adventure series ever since then, to be honest. I mean, you know what? No, I think the next game I gotta play is probably Heroes and Unleashed. Yeah, I always liked Unleashed as a kid. Those are the games I want to look out for. Probably not in the moment, but you know what? It was fun to just talk about it. I'm slowly going insane on this drive, so.
Get a load of piss!